What's her beef with LeBron? What about, is it the shoes? The shoes?
Nerds and geeks back at it again. I know we missed you last night, but we are here late on a Sunday. It is the legendary Nerd-O-Roundtable. Yours truly, King Magnificent Koala Sharp in the building, joined by Dr. Liz from the freeway. What it do?
Hi, everybody. It's a Monday night. I was...
True that, and we are mundane all day long. Lord have mercy. Tom is talking Cunningham.
Go Lakers.
And he is back, the prodigal son. We have missed you, good sir. Ryan Twitch Master McBain.
Boo!
Hey, I keep getting DMs and folks asking, where's McBain at? What happened? Y'all kick him off the show? I'm like, no, man, McBain is working, man. He's involved in all this sports shit. What have you been doing, sir?
Besides working my two jobs, sometimes three, just trying to catch up on some shows. I finally finished Reacher, and I've been watching Maul. And then so other than that,
Good
just
DJs.
working and sleeping.
And twitching.
Twitching too.
Didn't you just get access to a
Twitching.
brand new game?
Yes, Directive 8020. It stars Lashana Lynch, and it's called Directive 8020. It takes place in the future in outer space, and it's kind of like a the whole crew is being stalked by a shape-shifting alien, and you don't know who the alien is. So, and there's like multiple paths you can take. So if somebody dies in the game keeps going. So you can play the game multiple times. So it's very, very graphic, very gruesome. I'll be playing it tomorrow because that's when the embargo is lifted.
How I know
It sounds like they got you working day and night.
It seems like it sometimes.
I like that, Tom. How did you get the invite for that game? Is it just because they caught you on Twitch, like doing your thing?
Oh, there's like places like game companies will give you a key if you're a streamer. And it all depends how many views you have. So I'm like, hey, this is I'm Ryan McBain on Twitch. These are the views I have. This is what I play. And they're like, okay. And what game do you want? I'm like, I want this game. It's like, okay. Sometimes they say no. And I'm like, and then I'm like, I'm petty like that. So I'm like, well, fuck you. I ain't playing your game then.
Oh, nice. Nice. I love that. Petty Pendergrass on the console. I absolutely love it. Tonight we got a lot on the plate and not a lot of time because we are adults and we must get up in the morning and, as McBain said, work our 50-11 jobs. But we do got a Daredevil finale to recap. We got some insanity happening in The Boys. And you all have been asking, were we going to get to Mortal Kombat? Was anyone going to go see it? Yes. And actually, by request, a review for Man on Fire. But in our chat, there was back and forth regarding the Daredevil finale. And for the most part, yes, we all agree it was good. But there was one sticking point that I wanted to bring to y'all because maybe you all may be able to chime in and give us your 2 cents on it. Tom did not understand or was not happy with the idea of Kingpin going free and Matt Murdock being locked up. Because in the real world, yes, there's no way that Kingpin, walks through a crowd of people, even though they were obviously there to attack him. They were a violent mob, part of a group of protesters, as we have seen in our own real world, how these protests may start off good intention and standing up for rights and all that, but then you have someone in the crowd who wants to do some stupid shit like throw a trash can through a window, and next thing you know, it turns into looting and rioting and all that type of shit. And we always have to remind folks, you got to pay attention to who you let lead or take part in your protest, because they may circumvent and co-opt and turn your protest into something entirely different, as we saw in the Daredevil finale, where you had, I'll give it, a couple thousand New Yorkers in a city of, like, you know, millions upon millions of people. You had a couple thousand show up in their damn Daredevil mask, acting like they all of a sudden support Daredevil. And really and truly, I don't know if everyone was there to support Daredevil or if they were there to just start up some shit. Whatever. You had a few folks who got froggy and felt the need to run up on Kingpin, an individual who, even though he was the mayor, did recently get out of prison to get his mayoralship. A man who literally was doing all types of crazy shit in the city, and this group of folks thought they were going to walk up on him in the courthouse, beating down to drag him out. No, that fool opened up the door and proceeded to murder damn near everyone in the hallway. Now, in New York, I'm not real keen on the stand your ground defense, but I do believe you cannot run up on anyone and just attack them. Kingpin, yes, he is a murderer, but what we did see also in this same New York is, prior to the trial and all that, there was not this great love for Matt Murdock. There really and there wasn't a whole lot of love for Daredevil or vigilantes in the purpose, which is how the city allowed the Kingpin to put this damn law into effect in the first place. Now, in the trial, you know, for all the people who may have watched it, you know, who are rallying around and watching the BB report, great. They were rallying behind him, but still and true, what we did realize from the beginning of the show is the Kingpin is playing on a different level. The Kingpin is fucking with Val. The Kingpin is fucking with the individual that is in charge of the Avengers right now. An individual who literally told the AG and the governor, back off, that's my guy. There's no way they were going to let Kingpin go to prison. Someone's got to go to prison. Matt Murdock's ass is going to prison. And of course, it's all plot devices and shit like that to lead into the next season. But I didn't necessarily have an issue with it. That was my pushback, but I wanted Tom to be able to let folks know why this just was the burr in your saddle, good sir.
Okay, so that was 7 minutes of nonsense. But what I will say is that there was not a single person in the mob who burst through the chamber where Kingpin was. Yes, they definitely came after being held at gunpoint by Kingpin's thugs. They definitely did break into the courtroom to get a pound of flesh, but they didn't break down the doors. What happened is that Kingpin opened the door, said boo, and broke somebody's neck with one punch. And then as soon as that neck was broken, nobody laid a hand on his ass. As soon as that neck was broken, he killed 2 other motherfuckers in 5 seconds. And then he pushed through the crowd. And by that point, wasn't nobody really trying to fuck with him. They were trying to get away because they
for good
realized,
reason. Yes.
Yeah. I learned how to say this in sign language. It's this is fuck around, this is fuck, this is around, and this is find out. And that's exactly what they did. They thought they were going to get something. They thought they were going to get 350 pounds of flesh, and what they got was knuckle sandwiches, broken backs, and smashed heads. Ooh. Now, all of that said, I'm not saying he was the Kingpin. He manipulated things. I'm not saying that it was unbelievable for him to get an extradition package. That's not what I'm saying. And I think you said something that I don't agree with. You said that Matt Murdock was not a fake. The Kingpin called Matt Murdock a hero. The only time he stopped being a hero was 30 minutes before the mob formed, when he said he was Daredevil. Everybody thought Matt Murdock saved the mayor. That was his thing. We couldn't find him. Kingpin wanted him dead. He didn't tell anybody he wanted him dead. He was saying Matt Murdock is the hero who saved me, up until he admitted that he was Daredevil. And at that point, there were some people who gasped. But you know who was cool with it? To me, was the governor who was in that room. And the governor who had to deal with the repercussions of Kingpin telling his thugs to kill everybody after he failed to kill her with his previous assassin. So all I'm saying is that I don't see the political calculus outside of the fact that we know Matt Murdock needs to be in prison because he's going to be in Brand New Day, and Spider-Man has to go break him out of prison. That's fine. All I'm saying is it would have been clean and neat if you had a shot. You don't even need to show Julia Louis-Dreyfus. If you had a woman's hand with a phone, lock him up, click. That's enough.
Okay.
But to say that there would be no public outcry after a guy, remember, you said they weren't all Daredevil fans. No, they were the families of people who had been killed, illegally renditioned, who had been kidnapped, who had been snatched off the streets. It was BB and the other people that everybody that Kingpin had killed. All of those people were sick and tired of the bullshit. So it wasn't just Daredevil fans, it was people who were tired and they were using Daredevil as the mask for their frustrations. Now, the other thing I had a problem with, which would have made it a little bit easier for me to believe Kingpin's violent rampage, ain't no way that many people in New York showed up without a blicky. Somebody would have been armed.
Oh, yeah.
There weren't no knives, there weren't any pipes, crowbars, baseball bats. Everybody was just bare hands. That's bullshit. You knew you were coming up against the Gestapo, and they had automatic weapons. And if not for the brother that cold cocked that dude in the face, you're saying not one person would have showed up with a gun?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because you know why? Because we're living in a world where no one shows up to a damn ICE protest with a gun, Tom. No one shows up to an ICE protest with a gun.
But this wasn't an ICE protest.
Even if it was just a protest.
Actually, the last guy who got shot at an ICE protest had a gun.
Well, he was literally did not even pull that bitch out. For all
I understand, but you said nobody shows up with a gun.
No.
We don't know who Kyle Rittenhouse showed up.
We don't.
All I'm saying is I don't believe in New York. I don't believe in New York. Nobody showed up.
Maybe, but you know what? We have not seen any type of incident in our lifetime, current time, where we have seen people show up against the Gestapo with guns ready to do any of that damage. That would be far more unbelievable in our time right now than what you're suggesting.
All I'm saying is, I'm not saying everybody would be armed, but in a situation like that, it wouldn't just be good intentioned people. Because it's
no.
There would be some bad actors who are trying to do some shit, and all I'm saying is that
what happened to them, Tom?
No, they got beat the fuck up because they didn't have a gun.
They got murdered.
That's all I'm saying.
The bad actors who walked in there with bad intentions, banging on the door. Because Kingpin, yes, he said open up the door, but they were on the outside banging on the door. They could not get in. Their intention was to get in. He was warned by his assistant mayor, whatever, do not open that damn door. Not because she thought it would be career suicide, because she thought everyone in that room was going to
be suicide.
Yeah.
And again, all I'm saying is that that's not your house. You could have fled. The judge's chambers were behind that dais.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You could have taken 4 of your guys to fit around your big ass, and you could have slipped out that back door and you could have gotten away. You could have. Because they were all coming in through the front. You could have gotten out through the basement exit into the garage and gotten into your bulletproof shit and driven the fuck off. But you didn't want that. At that point, he knew the jig was up. I get that. I'm not saying that the rampage was unwarranted. I'm not. My beef was that I found it very difficult without them explicitly saying why. You're asking for too many. Well, Val was, fuck that. If Val could send a text saying, give him the deal, Val can send a text that says Murdoch goes down. That's all I'm saying. You should have made it explicit to connect the dots, because by the time you had 2,000 New Yorkers, if you say it was 2,000, by the time you had 2,000 New Yorkers showing up to call bullshit on Kingpin, Matt Murdock is a fucking hero because he showed that Kingpin was dirty as shit.
Well, somebody called and said, talking about the deal.
And even
somebody could and show it.
Yeah,
well, they did show us. Somebody called. The attorney general called and said, "Look, take this fucking deal."
No, take the deal. That was for Kingpin. I'm talking about for Murdoch.
Oh, okay.
Somebody should have sent a message that says Murdoch goes down, and then I'd be fine with.
They're probably going to explain that next season. Or
But
yeah,
also-
Brand New Day.
but that's bullshit. You had him walk out with Karen Page. They're getting Chinese fucking takeout, and then the woo. No, fuck that. He walked out a hero, and then 2 days later he gets picked up. Bullshit. Between that night and when he gets picked up, it would have taken not even 5 seconds of exposition.
Isn't he
And then
wanted
you're
for like,
clean.
because isn't he wanted for doing other stuff besides what he was doing in this season?
Wanted for what?
Like they gave him a long list of charges.
Yeah, but those were all bullshit, trumped up kingpin charges.
But I'm thinking about stuff he did
I
back
mean,
in the original show on Netflix.
And even
That's what it
and,
seemed
and,
like
when,
to me.
and,
And
when
the
they and when
antagonist
they
in that
arrested
show was
him,
what?
and when they arrested him,
Lots of them actually.
Matt Murdock, when he was sitting in the Chinese restaurant with Karen, and she said, "Man, I wish this could go on forever." He said, "Yeah, but laundry list of charges." He himself said that. He himself acknowledged the list of charges that were coming for him. I get what you're saying, Tom, that it could have been forgiven. The governor could have done XYZ, but there is no one that we've seen that would have had the power to let Matt off, because this is why I think that he had to go down.
I'm saying we needed to close the door on why he wasn't. And here's the thing.
Okay.
You're living in a country where the president just stole $57 million from his followers for a Trump phone. We're living in the most corrupt administration in the history of our country.
Yes.
So I get it.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
don't try to say that a person who's done some bad shit can't get off. I just think it would have been cleaner, because to tell me I've got to wait. Now, if they clean it up in Punisher One Dead Shot or whatever the hell the thing is next week.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So
Yeah.
if they clean it up tomorrow, then that would be better than waiting another month or another however many days it is for a Brand New Day.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I see Tom's point. I see it,
look,
but
I see that, but that's too neat and tidy of an ending.
It's fine, and I watched. It was not everything up until the point where you could have cleaned it up. If you're a screenwriter, you know how to tidy that up. Unless you want it to be something that's going to annoy the 10% of fans who are like me, where it's like, that's some bullshit. And so it would be cleaner. And so if, like I say, if they do it with the Punisher thing, and we get Karen talking to such and such or whatever, then fine, because it's only a week, and so you've cleaned it up. But it would have been less of a misstep if you had just explicitly made it clear why the villain who literally murdered 12 people 10 minutes ago gets to go to the island, who also, by the way, betrayed Mr. Charles. That's the other thing. You can say Val was covering for him, but Val was working with Mr. Charles on the illegal arms.
But Val was above Charles.
Yeah, but again,
oh my God. I clearly understand that. Yeah. Unless you're saying that Mr. Charles is going to ice him on the island, which I could believe because he's got Bullseye with him on the plane. He had Luke Cage with him. Luke Cage could have easily dispatched his chunky ass. But you've got an assassin on the plane. Maybe they're flying to the island. All of that is fine. All I'm saying is that you could have handled it better so that people who might not be interested, everybody's not going to watch the one shot. Everybody who watched Daredevil is not going to go see Brand New Day unless the one shot says you've got to go see Brand New Day, which it might well do since we know that Punisher is in it. And so we know that this is really kind of a bridge story. And if the idea is in Daredevil, give us Punisher, and then the week after drive people to see Brand New Day, maybe it's perfect. I just don't think you lose anybody between the end of Daredevil and Punisher by explaining why Matt had to go to jail.
My bigger
3-second fix.
Okay, those concerns, those critiques are valid, Tom. I see where you're coming from. My bigger critique is like fucking New York is on fire, and like where are the rest of the heroes? Like that's my bigger critique. That's what really bothered me.
That's gonna always be your bother. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, it is. I mean,
but are you? I thought you were gonna say, "Where's Iron Fist?"
Well, we're gonna get to that. Don't worry. We're gonna get to that.
Look,
Everybody
all of
showed
them are
up for
coming back.
him. I know, but I'm
Look,
just saying,
Look,
I thought that was
Luke
gonna be
showing up.
Brian's issue.
Nah,
Look,
Luke showing
look,
up with some chef's kiss shit for
look,
me. That was like,
that's
man,
why
he's
It
not only
really
I'm
that, he's in
happy.
the MCU.
That's why I'm happy. Okay. Like, was the finale perfect? No, it was not. But I have been waiting for this for 8 years almost. Luke Cage is my favorite character, and the
Well,
joy.
his show is gone on Channel 2.
What show is that?
Didn't he have a show, Tom? He had a
Who?
show.
Yeah.
Mike
He was like
The
Coulter.
dude who played,
Yeah, Mike Coulter. He was on Evil
Yeah.
for like 5 seasons.
Evil. Yeah.
and that's no
It was a
longer.
good show. Yeah,
Good
they
Right?
show.
canceled.
The show is gone. So I mean, this is a perfect comeback.
And when I saw him in the doorway, I was like, oh my God, it's happening. That's him. I know who it was. I was like, oh baby. I
mean that opens up such a huge pathway, and I get that everyone doesn't read comic books, because if you did follow the Devil's Reign storyline, this is how the story went. It's like in the end of this story, Matt revealing who he was, because the Kingpins, even though the Kingpin was doing some real illegitimate shit by hiring villains to pose as his enforcers, or what became this anti-vigilante task force in the show. In the series, he had hired a whole bunch of villains and had them, hey, look, take off your silly costumes, put on, these police uniforms, and we're going to round all these criminals up. And they went after everybody. It was Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. It was everyone in New York who was a quote unquote vigilante. Of course, they all fought back. Matt Murdock and the Kingpin, they had it out. Some of those battles that we saw on this show, even the finale, were scene for scene cut from the comic book. And that's, to me, was what was beautiful about that. And in the show, yes, Matt Murdock did go to prison. And, when he teamed up with Elektra, they come to find out that the Hand had something to do with it. And they went all ham trying to take down the Hand and root the Hand out of New York, which is what takes us into the next arc, which is why, it makes sense for the Hand to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, because that's all a part of and within the themes of the Devil's Reign storyline, which goes into the story wherein Matt Murdock eventually, sees that in order to eliminate the Hand, he must rule the Hand, but he was controlled by some fucking demon whose name I don't remember. But whatever, all of this plays into where the story is going, and I think that there will be a storyline where we will see this. And I think that's perfect. So we'll see, Tom. And I do believe that there will be that bridge between this show, Daredevil, and Brand New Day. And everyone knows that there is someone else leaping off that building with Spider-Man. It's not someone flying, it's someone leaping into the hands of the Hands.
Can I say that, because for Mortal Kombat, they do give a Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. And it is so cool to see it on the big screen. And okay, so that part
Is
where
it a new trailer?
Is it a new?
It's probably not a new trailer. There's only been 2 trailers.
I don't think
There's
so.
only been 2 trailers.
I think, but it's just, I guess it's just, bigger.
On the big screen.
So
I just want to go ahead.
I'm just saying that when you see him coming off in regards to the Hand, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's another person there. I get it, but it looks a little cleaner on the bigger screen, to where I don't have to sit here and figure out and think. When I say cleaner, I mean, I don't immediately have a conspiracy theory in my head that there's a second person jumping. They make it seem like it's just one, that it is just him confronting the Hand. But I'm not saying that is accurate. I'm just putting it out there, that the look of it.
One of my main issues is the connection still to this day, Brand New Day, to this day, is it's one way. It's TV shows leading into movies, but movies don't really come on to the TV shows. For instance, they can't even say Spider-Man on Daredevil. They can't. Kingpin
It
can't
sucks,
show
yeah.
up in the movies. They can say, "Oh, it was a man running around in a Spider-Man or in a guy who's like dressed up as a spider." They can say that, but they can't even say
The
Spider-Man,
guy
which is
dressed up as a bug. I think they said a couple
it
times.
just
Yeah.
it
Mhm.
drives me nuts. But I will also say this: I love the fact they did their best with linking and showing flashbacks to the original show on Netflix. We saw Kevin come back.
Yes.
We saw how Buck was there. Buck was there. By the way, Buck was the dude that set up Karen in season 1 on Netflix. He was the guy who did that.
Right.
So I love that like connection. I'm like, okay, great, magnificent. I'm kind of warming up to the fact that Max Crazy X is going to be a Muse.
The new Muse, yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, fine, because like they
She seems psychotic. Her psychosis
crazy.
is real. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she sells the crazy. She
Yeah.
sells the crazy. So you mean so the sex must have been like fantastic. But anyway, but like those are like I have a very few critiques with this. I wish the Punisher was in this. I think it would have helped a lot better, like fleshing out the story. But Jessica Jones coming back was also great. I love Jessica Jones, and I was just praying and hoping that Luke Cage would come back. And I love the fact that they showed his kid, and I love that like they got everything right with that, calling her Danielle, because that's a giving tribute to Iron Fist, Danny Rand. Tom,
named after her godfather.
I'm just fucking with you. But I would like to have known like why Luke felt the need to go with Mr. Charles. Why did he? I mean, he's Luke Cage. They can't like hurt him. I mean, so I kind of like to know more about that. But when Jessica and Luke hugged and the family was together, I was just like, finally, after 8 years, my favorite superhero, the greatest superhero ever, I fucking said it, is back.
I'm not.
I just so like nothing else mattered to me. I wasn't mad about anything else. I was like, dude, I got what I wanted. When Tom was saying what he was saying, I'm like, I get it. That's like it makes sense. I don't care. I'm happy. I'm filled with joy. So chef's kiss. Luke Cage is back.
Before moving on, the last thing that really gave me the feels is seeing BB in her uncle's office and seeing those stories on the wall, the stories that he covered in the original season. That meant something to me. I was like, wow, that's such a full circle moment. Going from Ben to Karen and then on to her, and then seeing those same stories, it took me back to why I love the original series so much, because it wasn't just a single storyline. There were a lot of things happening within the world of the Daredevil and how it impacted the people around him. And Ben Urich, I think he is definitely one of the unsung heroes in the series, and how he is the one who really helped to take the Kingpin down in the beginning. And I think that that full circle moment there, I was like, that's dope, man. That's really dope.
I didn't think that BB really cared for Daniel, but when I saw the picture on her desk, I'm like, okay, she really cared about him, because I thought she was just there just to get stories, just to use him. And I was like, Daniel, you're really protecting this chick. I'm like,
yeah, but I don't think
you guys aren't even dating.
No, but I mean, she can still like him as a friend. I didn't think that she completely
she was warming up to him. See, I think in the beginning she was using him, but the time passed on, she started like, okay, this guy's not a bad person. I think in the beginning she was using him, but at the end she liked him. I think in the beginning she was like, you're a piece of shit. I'm just using you.
Like is a strong word, but I think that I do think that there's a friend.
Yes, Reptile from Mars. Reptile Mars. My bad, I forgot. Yeah, White Tiger, White Tiger's niece taking up the mantle. I thought that was dope, seeing her. I was
worried about how that would look. If they pulled it off believably, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get that. That's great. How she was moving around all quick and everything. Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
This is good. I like this. Also, dude, Bullseye. Bullseye owned every fucking scene he was in.
Yeah, he did.
When he was in that restaurant on the phone saying, "Oh, Frank Castle's here. Oh my God, I think he has a gun." I'm like, "Oh boy, here we go." He was amazing in that role. It's like I can't believe that dude tried out for Captain America. That's why I'm like, wait, huh? Dude, he was saying he almost got it. He got second place.
Yeah.
There's actually pictures of him dressed as Captain America, which is really funny.
which is wild. But like he
he's
was meant to be Bullseye because he's so off. I'm like, this dude is dope.
It felt like to me they literally ripped him out of the comic book. Like, Bullseye is one of the first like villains I really read about when I was a kid, and like how he was just ricocheting knives and using straws, and motherfucker used a lobster to kill some dude. I'm like, yeah, man, this Bullseye. Shit is hot.
Yeah, anything in his hands is a weapon. Yes,
dude, give that guy his own show. Fuck it, I'll watch that shit.
Before we get to these movie reviews, The Boys, I didn't think that The Boys was going to be able to keep it up. I really, because it's like as the series has been going, I'm like, this series gets crazier and crazier and crazier, and then I see old man using his nutsack as weapon, and I'm like, I don't even know what to do right now. I don't know what to do with life right now.
Okay, first of all, you have to pick up the portmanteau. Nutchakus.
Nutchakus.
Okay, yeah, that works. That's good.
You can't.
That's good. That's good.
You can't leave that.
No, that's good. That's good. That's good. Oh, he's right. He's right.
Man.
I know a lot of people don't like The Boys because it's like very, very vulgar, very, very ridiculous. Granted, yes. My thing is they are so creative with their vulgarity. It's just like sometimes I think I've seen it all, and I'm like, oh my God, that's fucking vulgar, but it's so creative and so hilarious.
Yeah.
The fucking dead fish talking to Kevin, talking to the deep, going, Kevin, we knew it was you. The fish talking.
Yo, I cried laughing.
It was just like, it was so good. Laughing. And like, it's funny how people still don't understand that if you step up and if you're not afraid of Homelander, more times than not, he ain't gonna kill you. If anything, he's just gonna be like, oh, you're not afraid of me. The only guy he killed was A-Train, and he felt bad about it. It's like, because A-Train punked his ass. A-Train went out like a G. And by the way, I love the fact that how he died was kind of like a flashback to what he did in the very first episode. He died because
he only died because he didn't run through that girl.
Exactly. I love that callback. It was beautiful. It was great writing. I was like, okay, I see what you did there. I'm glad. I'm glad he died on his terms. He didn't die scared. He
died on his feet.
He died like, hey man, he told that guy he was a bitch. Hey, you a bitch. I don't know why I was ever afraid of you. Fuck you. Fuck your life. Do what you gotta do. I was like, okay. Hey man.
Now, Tom, you read the comic, and no spoilers, but in the comic, because I never finished. I have like the first 3 issues in my garage. In the comic, did he get the V1?
It wasn't. This is diverged so far from the comic.
Okay.
It doesn't. There's no V1 sub. It's not like that.
Okay, so they left the comic a long time ago.
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
and it's fine because the comic is a lot. I mean, whatever you think about the show, like Hero-Gasm was like a 6-issue arc, and it was absolutely crazy. It was its own kind of like half sub season of the comic. So
wow,
no, it is so crazy. Well, okay, so since this isn't a spoiler, in the comic book, Black Noir is an evil clone of Homelander.
Right.
Who is absolutely batshit crazy.
Right.
And Homelander bites it relatively, like, not, I wouldn't say easily, but it's kind of a straightforward kill. It's not like, So this is fine. Anthony Starr, we were talking about this in the chat.
Yeah.
In the comic book, Homelander is more like Alan Ritchson.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Starr is little. He is little. Homelander is huge, like pro wrestler huge.
Mm-hmm.
And so Alan Ritchson on paper looks like what Homelander should look like. Ryan brought up the point that since Alan Ritchson is like 6'4", you couldn't have enough actors who would be his size to make it look right, which is true. Certainly, but the Deep looks very different. A lot of it is just very, very different. Daveed
okay.
Diggs isn't bad casting for
The
Opha.
powers are off too.
Yeah, everything is kind of very, very different. But that's fine. Things exist in different media, and the point of The Boys is to be a deconstructed, anti, clean cut superhero thing, corporate ties, political intrigue. That's what it was supposed to do, and the series has done that. You didn't have to match the comic book gross out for gross out in order to do that. So, it's fine.
Okay.
I think I don't know if Ryan has watched the trailer for the next episode.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay. So the fact that Marie Moreau is in it is good news. Because
oh shit, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
I didn't see the trailer.
She's in it.
Yeah.
She's in the trailer for like this, but
okay, but that was our thing for last week. We were like,
we're all in it.
Where's she at?
No, it's her. It's the trans character.
Yes.
Can throw shockwaves or be invulnerable. Those are the two that I noticed from Gen V. But then they also have the Mad Dog dude or Dog Rat, whatever his name is, and She-Line, which is a great name. Dog Knot and She-Line. That's pretty amazing, actually.
That's crazy.
And so there are a number of paths. I actually went down a little rabbit hole on this. So there's still the special uranium that is basically kryptonite to Homelander.
Okay.
That there was this special uranium chamber, enhanced uranium, that his body can't withstand. And also, we have just seen that Soldier Boy can take powers from V1 suits by irradiating them. Now, Homelander's been caught in a Soldier Boy chest blast and didn't lose his powers. Maybe he lost them temporarily, but he didn't lose them permanently. We don't know what's going on with bombs. Oh yeah, it was last season in the battle with Maine, in Soldier Boy. The thing that put Soldier Boy on ice, he blew up the chest thing, and Homelander was exposed to it.
But he was outside, remember? Because Maeve grabbed him and they went through the window. That's why Homelander wasn't affected.
Okay, so we still have V1 natural immortal Soldier Boy who has demonstrated his blast and at least temporarily take away powers. Then you've got Marie Moreau on the board, and it's very conceivable that she could literally, because she controls blood, extract the V1 from his blood, just literally pull it out of his body like Magneto pulled out the adamantium.
That'd be nice.
Even if it was partially metabolized,
that would be dope.
She not only has she demonstrated she can control the blood, she's also demonstrated beyond the blood, she has like a biochemical power control because she healed the magnetic dude, Polarity.
Yep. Rewired his brain.
She healed the girl who could touch you.
Yep. Brought her powers back.
He was able to, by controlling blood, she was literally able to suspend all 5 of her friends in the air simultaneously. She brought Godolkin back to life and then helped dispatch him. So she's a beast, and they've related her to Project Geneva or whatever the fucking thing was.
The OG
Odessa.
Thing, yes.
So she's a part of Project Odessa. So it may be that she either has a variant of V1 or something V1 adjacent or V2 or whatever, but she's a beast. And the very fact that they're bringing her back, even if they tease her in this episode so it doesn't feel rushed to push her into episode 8, then, there's that. So you've got at least 3 ways that Homelander might be dispatched, and that's not even including his own son. So, and we also don't know if Sister Sage made a deal with Bombsight to bring like some temp V, because guess what?
Something that could interact with him poorly.
A lot of people are calling her the dumbest, smartest person like alive, because of she's like she was shocked that Soldier Boy gave Homelander the V1.
But I would rather believe that, because she texted somebody, "Do we have a deal?" or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
some people were thinking that was Soldier Boy, but that it seemed to me completely irrational that she wouldn't know that Golden Geisha had a goddamn med alert from Vought.
Yeah.
Right.
That was trackable. And
Right.
she left the receipt
Yeah.
to
Taco
say
Bell.
that she was there. And what's his name just happened to mention that she was doing med alert commercials,
The legend. Yeah.
which gave Homelander the idea of tracking it. It seems far more likely to me that she set that up and that maybe it isn't actually V1. Maybe it was 10th V, which got him juice, and he wouldn't know the difference between his regular power level and whether or not the V1 burst was just the fact that he just got V1. He wouldn't know. He's already a flaming narcissist. So it seems a lot more likely to me that she was playing a plan inside of a plan to get him to think he was immortal so that he would be easier to take down because he figures nobody can fuck with him anymore. And that's going to lay the seeds of his destruction. So we'll see. Obviously, he can't live. He's going to be dead. At the end of the
Also,
series.
let's not forget that the vice president, the girl with two faces, told Sister Sage like what was going on in Soldier Boy's head, how he basically loves his son, but he doesn't want to admit to it. So that had to go to the equation too. But my only question is, why was she pretending like what was she acting like? Oh my God, like I don't know this is happening.
Misdirection.
When I saw her do that, I was like, there's no way. That's obvious. That's more for the people around her. That's not for us, the audience. That's misdirection for the crew that was around her.
By the way, and she was lobotomizing herself in the trailer.
By the way, have you seen her in real life? Just without all of, like the gear and everything. Woo!
No. Brick house?
No, but fine.
That's what a brick house is.
That's a brick house.
We know that you're younger, but that's what a brick house is. She's evil Quinta Brunson. Is what she
I saw that picture of him. I was like, oh, that shit is hilarious.
How did Quinta get on the boards? So yeah, I think that the idea of Homelander being even more unhinged is difficult to conceive of.
Right.
But it also occurs to me that Father might have an angle too.
I don't know.
Look, he definitely has, and he knows his power has the ability to warp people's minds. He's very, very in control and knowing what his power does. It's not just him being loud. He knows that he has that impact on people, and that's what was allowed him to, to keep people in the church or whatnot. So I know for a fact he knows that he's done something to Homelander. I believe that he is also a part of Sage's plan.
Well,
I believe Sage has put a whole lot of folks in play. Not to mention the fact that at least before Black Noir died, there was a whole lot of brothers and sisters on this show that was just empowered. So just want to put out there a lot of women who rose to power on this show. Like, this show is absolutely not giving a fuck about people who think their heroes only come from Kansas, but that's a whole nother story. And I just loved it. I love seeing all that. I was like, this is
and to be clear, A-Train was white in the comics.
Yeah, he was. Yes, he was.
Really?
Stormfront was a
dude. It was a dude in the comics.
I remember that. I do not remember A-Train in the comics. I really don't.
White guy, was never black. So I think, didn't they, if Sister Sage was in the comics, she wasn't a big part that I remember.
Yeah, so I have like one or two issues, and I realize how much I dislike Ennis and everything having to do with that dude and the whole crew. I can't stand that dude.
I'm a little nervous.
I can't.
I'm a little nervous because we got 2 episodes left and they've been leaked. I haven't read any of the leaks, but people are like that have read them are not happy with how it ends.
I saw that. I did see that.
But I don't know who these people are, because I am enjoying the show, and some people are like complaining about this season.
I saw something on social where someone was saying like, worst ending ever, and I just moved
I
past.
mean,
I don't want to see that.
Game of
But I'm
Thrones is
like,
the worst ending ever.
yeah,
But yeah,
and I'm hoping that we don't go there. That would be very, very disappointing for them to end on that note, even though they've got the prequel series coming out, and I believe they have one more series connected to more current day iteration of some other spinoff that I was.
There's only two villains. There's only two villains I want to live that I want to live: Sister Sage and Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy is my spirit animal. That motherfucker is funny as fuck.
Soldier Boy is hilarious. Also, Soldier Boy was closer to Bucky.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
He wasn't Captain America.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He was more a Bucky person.
Now,
but again, it doesn't matter.
In the comic, was he the father of Homelander?
He wasn't.
Okay.
No, he wasn't. So again, but all of that is fine because you needed it's basically economy of characters and storytelling. You don't need every single thread. You need the threads you need in order to make the plot work. And so in comic books, you know, however many issues it was lots and lots of issues. You know, and it's one of the things that's funny is that Dougie in the comics is literally patterned after what's the guy from Shaun of the Dead, that guy.
The father of Huey. The father of Huey?
Yes, Huey. That's why I said Dougie.
Yeah.
Huey's father is the Shaun of the Dead guy. He looks like the Shaun of the Dead guy.
Yeah.
And so which is an interesting aside. But the whole point is that I would hate for this ending to Game of Thrones me. That would
I'd be so disappointed.
Nothing can be that bad.
I mean, if
a slow speed chase in outer space is probably
the entire planet, that would not be good.
Yeah,
that's unearned. So that would stop.
Yeah,
everybody wants Homelander to die, and
he's got to, because he's one of the most detestable villains that we've seen. Not he's Joffrey Baratheon. He's just God, he's the worst. He's one of the worst villains. Yeah, no one. I think that but it just has to be satisfying. If it's just you know, he loses his power, gets a bullet in the head, that's going to be insanely anticlimactic. Like, I want him to, like, I don't know, fall into
drown in some milk or something. I don't know,
fucking meat grind or something. I don't know, something horrible has to happen to him that is just so he needs to feel every single thing that he's done. Which to me, I love your thing where if Marie Moreau is able to, like, leech the blood out of him while he's alive and we just watch them, to me, that, because I remember that was one of the most horrific things I've ever seen happen in a comic book, when Magneto pulled the adamantium out of Wolverine. That was shocking to read in comic book form. If something like that was to happen to him, I'd love that. That would be great.
Well, here's
just
the
let
thing.
all his blood drop down next to him.
But not even that. The best thing to happen to him is that his powers get taken away and he is just powerless. And regular ass people are able to take their vengeance on him and literally tear him to pieces. He sees it coming, and he can't laser anybody. He can't punch anybody. He can't fly away. He can't do shit. And they come and rip him to pieces. That would be great. I would enjoy that. But I'd be equally fine with him being stripped of his powers and Stan Edgar coming in like, see, bitch, I fucking told you. And what are you now? And Stan just punches in his fucking grill, and everybody who wants to have a little piece of him kicks him in the nuts, whatever. Some, you know, butcher takes them little tendril things and you know, has at it, or the little snake face girl comes and grabs her. You know, anything.
But
here's the question. The next episode is titled The Frenchman, the Female, and the Man Known as Mother's Milk. And a lot of people are saying one of them at least is gonna die.
Frenchie will probably die.
I would say Frenchie.
Yeah, I think the girl's gonna die.
You think
Yeah,
who?
the girl, you know,
Girl's
if she
gonna
dies,
die.
that doesn't make sense.
She's
Sure, her
got
power is to
regenerative
regenerate.
powers.
Yeah,
I mean,
her power is to regenerate. There's no point in killing her. Frenchie is, you know, we've all grown sympathetic and we give a damn about Frenchie.
Oh,
We
he's
know
hilarious.
you know, he's hilarious. So if he dies, it'll hurt. If Mother's Milk dies, I think that's gonna have people just
No,
say,
no.
"Fuck this! I'm not watching the finale."
That's the one dude who's not going to die.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He
I am
ain't
telling
dying.
you now. But
Yeah.
Frenchie's hilarious. The fact that he did so much drugs that the mind control had no power over him is fucking hilarious.
Right.
That was
But
fucking
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, when
Firecracker
Frenchie
getting
dies, and you know that should be great because Kamiko she'll lose it, but you know you can't. Why you know killing someone who can regenerate, you know, even after being split in half, nah.
yeah,
Mother's Milk,
she
nah.
came back from being
Frenchie,
ripped in half, bro. I don't see it happening.
might be right. Might be right. Might be right. Firecracker dying, literally
Woo!
being
Right.
killed by the left wing is fucking
Woo!
hilarious.
Yeah, that was great.
Hilarious.
No, Firecracker doing the Nicole Kidman commercial
That was funny too.
in a movie theater. That shit.
We
had
have
me
to show
on
that to
the
Liz. Has to watch
ground.
that.
Oh,
Oh,
that
wait,
would be
wanna-
fun.
I
That
wanna
would
see
be
Liz's
fun.
reaction to that.
If they
Because
show
I'm
it,
tired of that commercial.
No,
they
Liz,
show
you
the
gotta see it.
finale. If they show the finale in the theater, they need to show that trailer instead of the Nicole Kidman trailer.
I would pay
Yes.
money to
That would
watch
be
Liz's
funny.
Yeah,
reaction.
I will go into theaters to see that on the big screen, Liz.
That would be
It's
fun.
I mean, oh man, when it
Just
happens,
tell
when
me
you see it
where
happening,
is.
it's great. It's fucking
Just tell
great.
me what episode,
Oh.
season episode,
I
and
think
I'll
it's the
fast
last
forward just to
episode.
that.
It's the last episode, yeah.
Okay, well,
Because
then
the
I'll do
last
that.
episode has it
Yes,
starts as a
episode
movie
6.
theater.
And it's
Okay, then
near,
I'll do
yeah,
that.
it's very at the beginning. You don't.
It's
you don't have to
right at the
watch it
start.
for-
Right at the
Yeah.
start.
Yeah,
I
you'll
will
love
do
it. You'll
that.
love it, Liz, because it's
It's
so
hilarious.
fucking hilarious. Mortal Kombat 2. I was going to watch it last night, and then I started reading all of your comments, and I said, nah, I don't got the time. I don't got the time nor the energy because nothing that any of you said in the chat made me say, oh man, I'm missing out. I started watching, and I was in there. I was in the Porter Ranch. I could have gone to see it last night, and I was like, nah.
It's not the worst movie.
But it also doesn't sound like something you need to see on the big screen. And I need to waste any of my A+.
First of
passes
all,
on.
you're not using all 12 of your A lists.
That's true.
That part.
That's true.
That part.
That's
So,
true.
What I will say is that unlike the last movie, which was to try to revitalize the franchise,
Jesus.
it goes back to the video game roots of there being a tournament. Okay, they set it up that there are 5 Earth champions and there are 5 bad guys, and it takes place in the realm or whatever. And Shao Kahn is the big bad. So you know we've had the guy with the 4 arms, Goro. He was in like the very first one. He was the one who was the big villain. And then in subsequent ones, we had Shang Tsung and, you know, lots of characters that they brought in. This movie, they kind of kept it constrained. They didn't try to throw in every Mortal Kombat character who ever existed. You got the ones returning from the last film. So you got Jax and Sonya, and Kano is in there, although he's not one of the champions. You've got an appearance from Kung Lao. You've got Cole in there for a minute. And you introduce Johnny Cage, and then you have Katana, who is putatively on the bad side, although this is really kind of her movie, redemption arc movie. You got Jade, who is a sister with a baldy,
with the baldy,
doesn't it
Dora
feel
Milaje vibes?
In the game, she's a sister. She's
doesn't
black in
it
the
feel
game.
like a doesn't it feel like a little bit of Thanos, the Thanos kind of arc where it's like I'm going to raise you kind of
it was I mean you could easily see the comparisons between Nebula, Gamora, and Thanos in the Shao Kahn thing, except that Katana never really knuckled under Shao Kahn.
True.
She was always playing the resistance person, whereas Gamora was a true believer because he adopted her when she was a child. Katana was she was a child, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, she just was strong-willed.
Right. She was a princess, and he watched she watched him kill her daddy. So that's kind of a different vibe. You know, Gamora didn't see that. He literally said, "Turn your head, child." As his people were killing half the planet. So it is different, but yes, sure. And so there are fights. You know, it's perhaps a cheat in a game that is known for fatalities that really, well, not the first fight, because the first fight is with her father, who gets brutally murdered. But in the first tournament fight, Johnny Cage actually doesn't die. Katana spares his life. He's knocked out, so the fight's over. So there was no finish him, but he was knocked out. And so that's a possibility in the game. You don't always have to brutally kill
that's
somebody.
true. That is true.
So he lost, and he was taken off the board, but obviously that comes to bite everybody in the ass because he ends up being a critical part of the resolution of the movie. So that being said, there is a fight structure. Each of the fights matter. Jax defeats Jade, but he doesn't want to beat the sister up. So the sister is spared. That ends up being important too. And there's only one of the battles that
I mean, was there any finish him? Any get over here?
there was. Yes,
Okay.
there was. There
All
is
right.
a get over here because Scorpion is brought in later. They go to visit Hell and Scorpion is there, and they go to visit Hell because Sub-Zero is brought back to life. There's a lot of resurrections. Kung Lao is resurrected.
Just like the game, it's
yes. Kano is resurrected. You know, but again, that's part of the video game mythos, right? Because
yes,
you lose and then you can immediately play again and everything's refreshed. And so, you know, that's not in and of itself a bad thing. It's a trope of the video game. So that's not horrible. And they establish at the end of the game that we're going to have to do a lot of resurrections. And so it's okay, so we get it. So Jax is coming back, which is fine because Makad Brooks doesn't get enough action. And that was one, people who say this is not a hard R, Jax being murdered was a hard R. Kung Lao being murdered was a hard R. If you don't want any spoilers, this is spoiler alert. I will just keep saying spoiler until you can mute me or whatever. Shao Kahn getting killed is a hard R. So, and even Katana's dad getting killed is a hard R. Cole getting killed is a hard R. Hard R.
Wow.
So
there's a lot of deaths that you just listed off. These are main characters.
I saw
one of the deaths.
But
I
I
saw one of the
disagree.
deaths online.
You disagree with what? Bashing somebody's head in is not a hard. Cutting
I don't
somebody's
think-
head into 4 pieces is a hard
I guess
R.
what I would
Jack
have
is hard R.
I guess I would have what I was expecting was it to be gory to the point where there would be kind of like blood running. I just
Oh,
didn't
wow.
for me, who flinches at everything, this didn't make me flinch. So therefore, I was kind of I was surprised that I wasn't covering my eyes at some of the gore that was taking
Okay.
place. It
To
was
be
just
fair,
kind of
you thought
blah.
that Johnny Cage's power was sunglasses.
No, I was being facetious, Tom.
I mean, it
I know
didn't
that
sound
his
like
power.
It did seem like
I
it,
know
but
that his
okay.
power was not sunglasses, but
you said
it
it 3
was-
times in the chat.
yes, I did because I thought it was beyond the way that it was presented in the film. I thought it was beyond cheesy. The way that
That's-
you saw, okay,
that's
I
the
get
game.
That's
that.
what Johnny Cage
But the
is.
way that he was even introduced into the movie was like this 80s, he's like a washed up 80s version.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
game.
So in the
and
game,
so, and I'm
that's
saying,
what
I'm
it is.
telling you, this is how this is how it came about. So to me, I felt that the movie was blah. I thought that it feels this kind of dated look to me. And I think I may have enjoyed, well, I don't think I'd enjoy it. But if I would have enjoyed it, then I would have preferred to see it from the comfort of my house.
well, yeah,
But
obviously.
Does your son play the games?
he plays occasionally.
But
But
he hasn't played it.
but yeah, but I feel I've played it. But I feel that this is catered more towards a him crowd. This is how I feel about the movie in the first place. I think that you really shouldn't have had it as rated R. I think you should have kept it as a
Oh,
PG-13. Oh, yes,
no.
this is how I
It's
feel.
Mortal Kombat.
It
It's
should
supposed to be
have been
violent.
kept
No,
as a
no.
PG-13
You're
because
crazy. You
he
are fucking
enjoyed.
lunts.
No,
Okay.
You
you
are
haven't even watched
fucking
the movie.
crazy. Doesn't matter.
He
I played the
enjoyed.
game.
He
Every movie
enjoyed
is
it
not
way
made for
more
every
than
viewer.
me.
Can't be
No, he
PG-13. It's
enjoyed.
Mortal Kombat. Oh my
I'm
god.
telling
Yeah.
you how I felt. That
Yeah,
it
but Liz, like I hear you saying how you felt, but how you feel actually
honestly,
goes against the video. I mean, the video game itself is not for kids your son's age. The video game. I haven't seen the movie. I saw the first one, and to me,
what?
the first one
It
was
was
just
an
a bad
arcade game.
movie.
It was. It, I don't.
You have
Now
to get
that
a parent.
I
If you're a
disagree.
certain
No,
age,
no,
you have
no.
to get a parent to buy the game for you.
No, beyond. I'm not talking about the stand-up arcade
Are you
game.
talking
The
about the
game
arcade
that
game?
the game that
No, the video
this is
game.
built on. This is built on the console when they started cutting people in half, pulling skeletons out of bodies and blood galore. This game started getting a PG-13, then started getting an R rating just on the game.
You
Just
can't.
on the game. Remember, my son
See,
had to
people
get
in the chat
permission
does
to
not
buy
believe
it.
that it's that gory either. I
No,
would
no,
have
no,
felt that it was
That's
should have
fine,
been,
but
if it was going to be
I
a
don't know if it was.
R,
Yeah.
I felt that it should have been more bloody, more guts, more
Okay.
clenching than I would have expected. Because there are some
Was
things
the
that are.
killing at least, was it comparable at least to They Will Kill You, or is it's not even that bad? Because They Will Kill You, it was funny, but it was gory as hell.
Well, I will say this. To the extent that in They Will Kill You, basically everybody gets resurrected after their deaths up until the very end. What I will say is that Kung Lao's kill looked like a fatality to me from the game. So Shao Kahn's didn't look like a fatality, even though his head is sliced into 3 different pieces. But there wasn't the one that really felt like a fatality from the game was Kung Lao, because Kung Lao's hat, which is a buzzsaw hat,
Yes,
is spinning in the it's trapped, and so it starts spinning, and Liu Kang, who wants to resurrect Kung Lao, he wants to save Kung Lao's spirit, but he can't right now. He basically ends up capturing him and throwing Kung Lao on the buzzsaw, and it just rips him in half. Basically.
That's in the game, now,
right?
But it wasn't like splatter.
Dude, you're just a sadist or something. I don't know what you're so hell-bent on. I need more blood. I need more death and blood.
You didn't even want to say.
That's what I would have expected.
Let me just say this. For someone who's a veteran of Mortal Kombat, I played it a lot. Like, you cannot make a movie PG-13. You cannot make a Mortal Kombat movie PG-13. It would make no sense. It would not work with the fatalities. It's just no. Like,
I mean, more PG-13 is like something for Double Dragon.
yeah,
like Double Dragon could be PG-13.
The same person who you said didn't think the gore was so bad said, I would never take my daughter to see this shit. So let's be clear. You took your son, and he would never take his daughter. So
I don't think. But see, I think this is the equivalent of Squid Games in regards to the type of gore. Do you think Squid Games is more gory or less gory?
Less gory. Gory. And also, let's be clear, movies like Squid Games, and to a lesser extent They Will Kill You, are set in a more grounded reality. So to me, I don't look at a video game movie. I would never expect a video game movie to be a legitimate film. So what I expect out of a video game movie, especially something like Mortal Kombat, which is just predicated on fighting and killing people and going up a ladder, is you'd have the fights. You definitely have fights. I think it was like 12 fights. Not all in the tournament, but you had lots of fights. You had some character development. Katana and Johnny Cage basically are the ones who have arcs in this movie. Everybody else is kind of there to be window dressing. Kano is back. He gets kind of a little bit of a redemption arc. They don't have the metal faceplate over his robot eye. which I don't know why they chose to do that. What I will say is I was disappointed in how cheap Baraka looked. Baraka's whole village looked like they ran out of budget. And his body, it
has to do with the spikes in his mouth?
Yeah, spikes in his hand.
Yeah. Spikes in his hand, big ass teeth in his mouth.
Gotcha.
His skin, his arms looked like the makeup was flaking off. They had a whole bunch of crazy looking Baraka ass children and villagers and shit. And it was like, you should have spent less on that extra makeup and more on getting Baraka right. And he also was played kind of, I don't think he was played for as much comic relief as some people in the chat. But he wasn't like a vicious, complete badass. He's basically a warrior in a warrior tribe. Once he got beaten by Johnny Cage, he like conceded that he needed to learn from Johnny Cage. He thought Liu Kang was this incredible person, and the fact that he lost to Johnny Cage.
That's not really his character.
No, listen.
No, I know.
I don't know how much of a character he is in the game. He was a mutant in the game.
So
like a story.
I think the budget is low.
I have a question. So, in this movie, is it still like only certain people have special powers, and if you kill that one person, you get their power? Like,
No.
Good. That's fucking stupid. Thank you.
No, the only thing that happens is that Raiden's power is sucked into an amulet, and then that amulet transfers Raiden's god energy into Shao Kahn, which allows him to regenerate. It doesn't give him lightning powers. He just has a god's power, so he's almost impossible to beat until they fix that.
But yeah, I will just say this: I'm going to see it eventually, but I don't need to see the movie to know that it cannot be rated PG-13.
I think that you would enjoy it more than you did the last movie.
I know I will.
I still think that this movie does not need a sequel. Another one.
I'm probably I'm walking in
box office wise. I mean, this film it didn't even scratch number one. I mean, this shit came in.
It came in number
low.
2.
Well, for a video game movie.
Last time I looked at box office mojo, it was number 3.
I looked at it today.
Oh,
and
did what's it called drop?
It came
because
out
when I looked at
Devil
on
Wears
weekend,
Devil Wears Prada was number 1. Oh, it dropped. Devil Wears Prada was number 1. This was number 2, and Michael Jackson is like $500,000 behind it.
That's wild.
So here's the thing, though. It opened higher than the last movie, and so depending on there's a lot of stuff.
But this is going to fall off.
We're in the summer, the pre-summer season. There's not a whole lot of daylight left before we get to Brand New Day, and so
right.
I'm not saying it's a convincing reason for a third installment in this rebooted thing, because again, once you kill Shao Kahn and you've got the necromancer by the back of his neck. So Shao Kahn isn't going to be resurrected. So where are we going?
Well,
I mean,
they ended it with them walking down the line saying we're going to resurrect everybody.
I mean, 60 million worldwide for your opening weekend.
Oh,
even if that is better than the last.
Like I said, I don't think it's a rationale for a third installment because I don't know where you go. I do think it is. I will say it was not as openly cheesy as the very, very original movie.
Wait. The one from 1995?
Yes, the original one. I know you love it, but it was. I mean, because they were trying to jam. Trying to jam all of the actors in there. They were trying to jam the characters in there, and then when they did the sequel, Sindel was a mess.
Okay, the second movie was bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
The first
I'll give you that bad.
And it's better than the second. So
it's
okay. I have to see the second movie. I have to see this one to judge. But like I said, I love the original Mortal Kombat movie. Guilty pleasure.
I will say this. I think it is an upgrade. I think story-wise, there was actually a story. It is Katana's story, and it's Johnny Cage coming into his own. So it's Johnny gets a redemption arc. But again, Carl Urban is getting long in the tooth. I don't know why you would push this. I'd rather see Carl Urban do another Star Trek movie than to see him in Mortal Kombat 3.
Well,
so we'll see where it goes. But
they wanted to do an old Johnny Cage, which is actually in the game. There is an old Johnny Cage. Yeah.
No, so, I understand.
But my only issue was like, okay, so is there any type of like relationship between Johnny Cage and Sonya in the movie?
No.
Because in the game they hook up and have a kid.
No.
So
it's more like you're led to believe that Jax is knocking down Sonya.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
I thought Jax was knocking it down from the last one. I thought Jax.
That's what I'm saying. It's very clear that because they were both paramilitary or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they've been on missions. Yeah. They dug out a few foxholes.
Didn't he lose his arm saving her in the first place?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He has no arms.
He lost his arms to Sub-Zero in the.
No, I mean he lost, but I thought he was helping her get away. Like they were all running from him when they went to go find what's the name? They got the golden arms. They were all running and him trying to save her. I thought that he had, went hand to hand with Sub-Zero and he was like, froze his damn arms off, and then
I hate that movie so much. I deleted it from my memory. So maybe
this movie's gonna plummet.
Yeah,
I don't.
No.
At
60, and it's not getting any favors in any type of
B cinema score.
Listen,
like I said, it's a video game movie. If you like the game, you will like this better than the last one.
Okay,
that's all I wanted.
There's definitely some enjoyable.
And nobody's buying the popcorn buckets, and
that popcorn bucket is trash. Sorry.
And
no,
then
they should have they underestimated the Michael Jackson fever.
Yes, they did.
AMC absolutely should have had at least a cup. If they had a Michael Jackson, and they could still put out a Michael Jackson cup, and I go buy that bitch. Yeah. If you did a Michael Jackson Thriller jacket cup, and or a Michael Jackson Beat It jacket cup, or a tuxedo jacket cup, you don't even have to invest in a bin. I would have bought that Thriller jacket bin. Though.
Just a glove or something.
You can do so many different Michael Jackson. There are so many different things that he's iconically connected to. You could have turned into a popcorn chain for different chains.
But the hat looks flimsy and cheap.
Yeah,
you could have sold the shit out of. You could have had 3 different Michael cups. I would have bought each one.
Can you imagine if you would have had like moonwalking shoes? Like as some type of cup holder popcorn thing combo.
Somebody did an AI cup with him doing the toe thing as a minifig on top of the cup. I already had it purchased. I was ready. I was like, I bought every piece of the Fantastic Four swag. I would have happily bought anything that they. I bought the
Danny Rand over here all about money. Shit, man.
Damn. But I was there on the first night.
I agree. And on top of that, they're re-releasing it in IMAX this weekend.
Yeah,
the whole week.
No, because that's because AMC is like, hey, fuck what you heard. Michael Jackson is the king of theaters right now. All right, real quick, before we get out of here, Tom, by request, if you could let us know, because I haven't checked out Man of Fire.
Yes, okay.
And folks really want to know because we promised it, and I'm like, dude, I need to know. Is Man of Fire, does Yahya do it again in this series?
Yes. So this is a huge year for him. Wonder Man, critically acclaimed, well received, and now Man on Fire is a 1-2 punch follow-up on a different streaming network. What I can say is that the rationale that they have to expand this over 7 episodes, it's 7, it's not 8. They used the number of episodes they needed to tell the story. I was at the end of episode 7, I was like, well, what are they going to do for episode 8? And they were like, you might enjoy. But they translated 2 different stories. So they kind of redid the original Man on Fire. They aged up the daughter. She's a teenager now.
Okay.
And she turns into a bit of a badass herself, quite frankly, which was a nice way to treat it, as opposed to Dakota Fanning, who, was a moppet.
Yeah.
And then they also translated a follow-up book. I think it was called The Perfect Kill or something like that. So there's political intrigue. They moved from Mexico. Well, I guess the original was in Italy, and they moved it from Italy for Denzel to Mexico. They moved it from Mexico to Brazil. and that's how they marry the two things. So
Okay.
He does a good job. You have more episodes to kind of space things out. He develops a relationship with this driver from the favelas. There's another character from the favelas, Libro, who kind of gets into a little quasi relationship with the daughter. There's this other kind of favela thug named Vico or Vic or something like that. He turns out to be a little bit of a hero. So they do a good job, and I don't want to spoil who the big bad is. They do kind of telegraph a couple of things, but they set up another installment.
Yeah,
Okay.
they
So
do.
Okay.
this is pretty by the book. You've seen this movie before. Damaged, deep op professional goes off the deep end after his crew is killed and is clawed back into the life by a friend, and shit goes left, and he kind of like has to shake it off and get back into, he has to lock in and get back into mode because he's got to protect the daughter of his friend. And that's kind of the launching pad of the whole thing. And it's a very satisfying watch. Like I said, not a whole lot of new ground broken. But it's always good to see. I mean, this is the era. If Denzel and Wesley and Idris had their eras, this is the era of Coleman Domingo and Yahya Abdul Latif II.
Okay.
They have inherited it. Maybe Damson Idris, maybe
Aldous. What about them?
Yeah, but I'm saying Yahya is doing the damn thing. And so Yahya's in the MCU and Yahya's in this shit. He was Candyman. He's playing a broad range of roles across genres. He was also in the DC universe. So
Watchmen.
He's doing Watchmen too. So
and Watchmen and Black Manta. He is.
And that's what I'm saying.
There.
Oh, let's not think about Black Manta.
He
was good. The movie was bad.
He's doing a lot of good work, and his work is being well received. So Jonathan Majors has been pushed all the way off a cliff, and it's all about Coleman and Yahya right now, with a side of Aldous Hodge and also Damson come up. If Damson is confirmed as Black Panther, then that's going to be a huge leap ahead.
Well, also, I mean, let's not forget, Jordan's got whatchamacallit coming out, and that's looking to be a big one next year.
You mean Michael B. Jordan? He has a movie that came out, a kids movie that came out that I'm watching.
That's on Netflix too.
No one wants to see that.
I'm watching it. It's not bad,
but it's like there isn't enough hype. There isn't enough hype on that one, and the story looks stupid. I mean, the story, we switch places. Oh my God, you're a bird. I'm a gerbil. Fuck out of here. No one wants to see that. But how he does in the spy film coming up. The
Thomas Crown Affair.
Thomas Crown Affair.
We'll see.
He was like my wage goes up as soon as he got that award.
Good for Miami Vice. I should have included Michael B. Jordan. It's Michael, Coleman, and Yahya right now. Yeah. So, and that's an exciting time because for a while it was basically Denzel is serious, Wesley is action, and that was pretty much all you had. But you got Anthony Mackie on the edges now. So there are things going on. But to answer the question about Man on Fire, definitely worth watching.
Okay.
It is. Especially for
I just got my Netflix back. I didn't even know that it wasn't active anymore because I had stopped. There wasn't anything on Netflix for me to watch. I hadn't watched Netflix in forever and a day. And then when I went to go and watch the series after you started talking about it, I'm like, your account is inactive. I'm like, wait, what? What happened? And I'm like, oh, I fell off. Okay,
I understand.
I'll get it back.
I understand.
Yeah, it's worth watching.
Okay,
definitely.
Well,
I recommend it for sure.
There you go.
For sure.
Well, no,
we're in an hour.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all time. But we got Punisher tomorrow. We got another episode of The Boys dropping. So we got a whole lot of shit that we can catch up on this Sunday. We can all get together with all the adulting we got going on. But till then, Dr. Liz, take us out.
Good night, everyone.
McBain.
So you didn't nut.
That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut.
That was the shit.
That was the shit. That's a deep cut. I love it. I love it. Tom.
Where is my fireproof suit?
Excelsior. So you didn't.